Hello, welcome to Undisputed Boxing. It's prediction time. We haven't done a prediction for a while. I'm here with Rick. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts. We're here to predict Jazza Dickens versus Kid Galahad 2. Is it Dickens first or Galahad first? I don't even know. But yeah, good fight. I think it's going to be a pretty good fight. This is top of the bill. And we'll talk through some of the rest of the card as well. How are we doing?
Good. I think it's Galahad first.
Right.
But yeah, they fought quite some time ago for the bantamweight British title. Don't remember seeing it. It was some time ago. I'll just go out the blocks because I'm more bothered about talking about the heavyweights, if I'm honest. Even though I know it's a lot lower level. So I would normally say here, I think Galahad's, quite a bit better. I would normally go probably a late stoppage. I think the one thing that's making me swerve towards points in this is Galahad's not fought for a long time. He's not fought since last February. So there might be quite a bit of ring rust there. Whereas Dickens fought in February, then in December. So, just with that in mind, I think Galahad might not be quite as sharp, and therefore, I'll probably see it more going towards points. It's always a safe bet, that, isn't it? Just saying, a win a certain way in points. But I think he stopped him before, so you could see him stopping him again. But yeah, that's where I'm going.
So you're going Kid Galahad by late stoppage or points?
No, points. I would go late stoppage if it hadn't been for the inactivity.
Okay.
Had you noticed that? Had you noticed the big layoff?
Yeah, I had. Yeah, and actually, Jazza Dickens beating Ryan Walsh. That's a pretty decent win. Got a narrow majority decision against Lee Wood. Yeah, I mean, the last kind of fight I saw, one of the last fights I saw Jazza Dickens, I'll be honest, I haven't really been following his career too closely, was when he got sparked in a round by Rigondo. That was on a Frank Warren show. I think he broke his jaw, Jazza Dickens. So I haven't seen that much of him. And I think his last defeat would have been, I think he had a defeat after that, and then he hasn't lost a fight since then.
Yeah, he's lost 3 altogether.
Yeah, he's lost 3. 2 of them have been knockout. But I think he's on a bit of a run. And actually, I'm gonna go Jazza Dickens by points. Yeah, just to make things interesting. I just think Kid Galahad is, one of his typical kind of Winkerbank gym, Dominic Ingle trained, bit of a spoiler, cute on the jab and footwork and fancy. There's not a lot of substance there. Doesn't have great power. There's a little bit of a spoiler.
He's a frustrating watch. He's a frustrating watch. Yeah. I just think he's boxed at higher level. You know what I mean? He's boxed for this title before. My only worry with it is just that ring rust. But I don't think he's someone. I don't think he's someone who's seen too many bad rounds and bad fights. You know what I mean? His only defeat was by Warrington, and he didn't get beat up. It was quite close on points.
Yeah, I actually thought he won that actually.
Yeah.
Galahad, I thought he actually beat Josh Warrington. I think he got him at the right time.
I think that's it for me. It's almost like Warrington is a I know he got beat in his last fight, but we Warrington beat Frampton. We knew Warrington is I wouldn't say he's an elite fighter, but he's world class, and he went toe to toe with him. And yes, he did it in this spoiling manner, but he's proven he's been at that level before. Yeah. And that's why I lean to him, really. I just, that's my logic anyway.
Yeah, fairly logical. And I'm probably backing the underdog here. But yeah, just to make,
go against me.
No, just to make things a bit more interesting. But I do think Jazza Dickens has been a little bit more active. I think he's just generally a busier fighter as well. And I think, the judges I just don't think they'll like it, his work. Kid Galahad, he can sometimes have a bit of a low output as well. Yeah, that's yeah. I'm gonna go Jazza Dickens. And I think if you can make it a dogfight as well and really put it on him, I think he's got a
He's
very good
never been
chance of beating
beaten.
him.
I mean, here's an interesting thing to go either way for us. He's never lost on points. He's either retired or been cleaned out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Babic Bennett.
You love a bit of Babic, don't you?
Yeah, it's just entertaining. I mean, sometimes boxing isn't about, but this is why boxing, lovers of boxing. It's sometimes about the characters and just the ones that give you entertainment.
Yeah.
He fights anyone, probably in the top 10, he's getting cleaned out. Well, not the WBO top 10, because anyone could be in that. Me and you could be in that. So that doesn't count. But do you know what I mean? He's just, he'll go in and they'll continue building him up, and then they'll put him in a big fight one day, and he'll come unstuck, but it'll be great. Be a great ride. So just looking forward to him. And Wardley Webb. And it's funny because Babic is giving Webb a load of crap as well during fight camp. I just saw an interview with him where he was like in his face. So I still think if Webb loses, Babic will be there for a fight as well.
Well, I think that was supposed to be the original fight. I think they were trying to make Babic versus Webb.
Yeah. But I think if Webb loses, but especially if he doesn't get cleaned out, if Webb puts up a decent fight but loses, he's still probably got a fight with Babic, and he could think to himself, right, do I want to rebuild and have a proper career, or do I want to, I might get offered a bit more money for that? And I won't say it's a cash out amount, but do you know what I mean? He might get probably double the amount for Babic than he would, or maybe triple the amount for Babic than he would for go to a nothing fight. So I expect Babic to win. I don't know much about his opponent, but they're obviously going to be just bringing him along. He's almost helping them top up stuff, and he's going to be very useful as a kind of throw into pay-per-view cards. I think they may hold on to Babic for a while, and I don't know. I think the public. I wouldn't be surprised if, even next year, he's not fighting big fights, and it might be the year after they step him up or something. I think they're just throwing it almost like a cartoon thing, but he might be the one that says, listen, I don't want to keep playing this role. I want a decent fight. Throw me in with a Price or something like that. I mean, God knows what Price will be doing. And then there's Wardley Webb, and obviously I think going back a year you would have really fancied Wardley here, but I suppose their most recent, and this is what's great about boxing sometimes, the most recent fights that we've seen them in have kind of made question it a bit with Wardley not looking great against Molina and Webb looking very good against his opponent, whose name escapes me, but he was meant to be quite well thought of, especially in the white gym. And Webb's, I think, one of those people where if he's on his game, he's a lot more dangerous than his record suggests.
Yeah.
And I think he's waited for this fight because he knows it's make or break. So I actually see this being quite not 50-50, but he's got to be on his game here, Wardley.
Yeah. Yes.
And if he's as sloppy as he was, he could, I get the feeling he's got a decent chin. Not maybe Joe Joyce chin, but better than average, or a fair bit better than average. So we'll see. He might take a shot and get through it. I still back Wardley, but I'm actually really looking forward to them two fights. And then I've got a feeling that the main event could be a bit of a bore fest.
Yeah, well, I think with Babic, you are guaranteed entertainment. How far do you think? I mean, he's one of those guys that he's probably going to take 2 or 3 losses over the next 2 or 3 years, and he'll still be put on the card, and you'll look forward to an Alen Babic fight. But I mean, how far do you think he could go? Do you think he'd get into kind of a top 15 or a top 10, well, a top 15 ranking?
WBO, yeah.
Yeah. He's one of those, no matter how good a boxer you are, I think he's a nightmare for those first 3 or 4 rounds, isn't he?
I don't know. I mean, we've not seen him up against anyone quality. He's never been up against someone who throws that jab right in his face. Do you know what I mean? It's like he comes flying out, but a Joe Joyce lands a few heavy shots in his face. He'd be like, that's the test, really. It's one of the tests. It's kind of, I've had a ramrod jab in my face. I've never felt like that before. Am I still game, or Dogo and Michelle.
Yeah.
And
It's
he's mad.
a shame he can't get a top 15 ranking with the IBF. They could chuck him in there with Hrgovic. All Croatian.
Well, he wants it.
Yeah.
He wants a Hrgovic fight, and maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. And it's more of a money fight or something. I don't know. But we'll see. And then on the card we've got lingerie girl as well, haven't we?
Oh, Ebony Bridges. Yeah.
She's back over. Hope she doesn't that things that happened to her eye again. That looked awful.
Yeah.
That looked worse than Dubois, and she didn't quit.
Shots fired.
But
yeah. So it should be a good card. Okay, so confirm you're going Galahad on points. I'm going Jazza Dickens on points.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we'll do a quick review on Sunday then, and yeah, any other news. Let's wrap it up. All right. Thanks everybody for listening.